One of the biggest thought-provoking thoughts that I sit around and I think about all the time, and it's the thought that the true nature of reality and the universe may be beyond our comprehension. In other words, we will never be able to understand what reality is and the nature of reality and the universe is. We won't be able to understand it exponentially in our regular conscious mind because it is so limited. And I think of the analogy like ants. Ants. When you watch ants and you watch how they create their kingdom, and how elaborate and how complex it is, and you see how they have these different structures, and they actually look like highways for the queen, and would have different workers. You would say to yourself, man, these ants are very organized, or these ants are very smart, right? But when you think about the grandeur of all these things, the ants will never be able to grasp the concept, or the ant will never be able to understand what the earth is, what a continent, water, sky, you and I. It'll never be able to do that because it's not in its program or the way it's designed. And that's the big picture with us. We will never be able to understand until we are able to leave our limited mind, and then we have to enter into our higher mind. I believe once you enter into the higher state of consciousness, that's where it comes. When we look at animals, they don't have a prefrontal cortex. What that basically means is your dog, or if you have a pet, they don't understand time. They don't understand logic or deep thinking. Yeah, they can watch your behavior and they can learn, but they don't understand any of that. An animal is constantly stuck in the present moment because they haven't developed that. We as humans, you would say we are on the highest totem pole of that. But even us as human beings, we don't have a great understanding of the universe. I mean, we just have surface level understanding of the universe. However, I do believe, though, that we do have a tool that what can give us ultimate understanding of the universe. See that? So I believe that we can have a very deep understanding of the universe and of the nature of reality so that we can change our lives. But I believe we can only do this by exiting our conscious logical mind. And what that means is we have to learn to balance the ego versus the higher part of the mind. And one way I found to do that is to treat my ego very inferior to me. Put my ego as a child, which gives me the advantage. And by putting my ego as a child, it changes the perception and it changes the identity of my ego. So now my ego will be less inclined to steer me or to influence me because they're just understanding that this is a child. And if you're an adult, there's no way a child can dictate your life or tell you what to do. And that's one way I do that. And what that does, that open up a whole new corridor for me to now understand deeper things about the universe and nature of reality. For example, let's talk about the law of attraction. There's one thing you guys got to understand to make the law of attraction work. Okay? Remember, law of attraction involves magnetism, right? Electromagnetism. It's your energies, what you're attracting. In order for you to be magnetic to get what you want, you have to possess two qualities. And these two qualities you have to have is you have to be confident and you have to have high self-esteem. Otherwise, the law of attraction is going to work the opposite in your life. And most people don't understand that. Most people they manifest from a state of desperation or a state of lack. If you want to make it work effectively for you, you have to have the confidence and the high self-esteem. If you want to make it work against you, if you don't have confidence or good self-esteem, you're going to be manifesting from a state of need or desperation. Because if you understand, and this is what I'm talking about, this deeper understanding of the universe and all this stuff we're talking about here. And this is why I say you got to exit your regular mind to get this type of knowledge and information, because it only can come to you when you're not wrapped up in your own thoughts, your own mind, your own ego, your own perceptions of who you are, all that stuff. Another thought-provoking thinking that comes to me is the fact that none of us will never be able to know who we are from an intellectual level, from a conscious level. None of us. Now, you may get to know who you are from a deeper level, but that's when you get to the next level. But I'm speaking in general terms. When you're married with your wife, even your mom, even your own self right now, logically, you will never be able to know yourself. And let me tell you why. Because what you have in your head is an image, a perception, or an idea of who you think you are and who the person you think is or are. It's never the real person. And then when you meet the real person in real life, you're projecting that real person from the perceptions you already have in your head. You see what I'm saying? So it's like nobody will ever be able to know anybody, or they'll never be able to understand or know who they truly are. Intellectually now, from a consciousness. But now, once you elevate to the higher level of conscious awareness, then you can start to see people for who they truly are, because now you are existing in a state of being, a state of spiritual dimension. And that's where the judgment will fall off, envy will fall off, jealousy will fall off, and now you can see people as who they are. But you can only get there again from what? From understanding. You have to be a deep thinker, and you have to understand that you have to have the confidence and you have to have the self-esteem to get there. Why do so many people struggle with manifesting? Why do you think so many people struggle with manifesting? Why do you think so many people have such a hard time getting what they want? You know what it is? You know why so many people have a hard time getting what they want? The reason you struggle, point blank, is because you don't believe you deserve it. Now you may look at me, you may say, what is Mark talking about here? I know I deserve it because I think about it every day, and I try to visualize it every night, and I'm taking steps towards it. But I can still tell you that means you still don't deserve it. Now you're confused, right? And you're like, man, this guy's confusing me here. I don't get it. Well, let me show you how to get it and show you how it works. When you don't deserve it, it's coming from your unconscious programs or subconscious mind. See, your subconscious mind has a set of beliefs, just as your regular mind has a set of beliefs. The difference is in your subconscious beliefs, they're called your true beliefs. They are the ones that really determine the path your life goes on, whether you'll be successful, whether you'll be inconsistent, whether you'll be a failure. All of that is determined in your subconscious. So the issue is most people will walk around with a faulty subconscious map of reality. But most people have a subconscious map that says that they don't deserve it. And the thing is, you can't pick up that map because you're consciously engaged in your other mind. In your other mind, you can think about you deserve it. But thinking and feeling is two different things. And the feeling is what drives the creative process. Feelings are always tied in the unconscious, subconscious mind. So most people believe or think they don't deserve it. And their actions and habits do that to them. Did you know that most people, they will sabotage themselves for success? Did you know that? When someone's about to become successful or they're about to make a lot of money, they start to get nervous, they start to sweat, they get anxiety, and they end up sabotaging themselves. When most people are about to hit that big thing or whatever, that they just pull themselves back. Maybe some of you have experienced that before. What's causing that? It's the subconscious wants to hold on to what it feels is the right map of reality, and it's going to make you get these feelings, and then you may make a mistake and you may mess up. So that's the thing. So the biggest thing that stops us from manifesting is the fact that we don't feel like we don't deserve it. And to change that, you know what you got to do, man. You got to use those affirmations. You got to use those self-hypnosis. You got to use auto hypnosis, and you got to build your confidence and your esteem up. And once you build your confidence and your self-esteem up, now you become magnetic, and then you raise what you call your attractor factor.